Welcome to a Holy Mess podcast. All right, my friends, we all know life can be so difficult and painful at times, especially when we're carrying grief or loss or wrestling with shame about our past, anxiety about our future, or frankly, like we are just not enough. But there has to be so much more for us. There is hope and joy, peace, love, fun, purpose, and a reason that you, my friend, are on this planet. Let's partner with God so you can be who He created you to be as you wrestle through and trudge through your mess. Hi, I'm Dani, a recovering alcoholic, a mom, a wife, a mentor, and dust. We are only here for a moment. Let's live like it. I'm just like you. I'm a holy mess most days. Actually, every day. Let's have some fun and laugh while trudging through our mess. This stuff doesn't need to be dry and boring. Let's dig in.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the podcast. If you're new around here, my name's Dani, and I'm just so grateful that you found the podcast. I'm glad you're here. If you want to sign up for my email list, you can do that by going to the show notes, and there's a link for that. Also, you guys, all my listeners, you guys, believe it or not, I just started posting on social media. Well, let me take that back. Erica, my amazing sidekick, who is awesome. She's way more than a sidekick. If you're part of my coaching programs, you know she's what keeps the wheels going on this thing, and she's amazing. So she's helped me with my social media, and so I am officially posting regularly on social media. So if you're on social media, now I'm on social media, let's be friends. So in the show notes, please, you can pause the audio now, or you can just probably go as you're listening. And if you're on Facebook, you should be able to just click right through and then be able to follow on Facebook, and we can become friends, or on Instagram, or on, I think we're even going to start Twitter. I'm doing Pinterest. Like, we're doing all the things. We're trying to just be out there. And I'm going to say this, I'm actually about to do kind of a social media live about this. So my grand plan, you guys, is not to all of a sudden have 100,000 social media followers. That's actually not my desire at all. I mean, it'd be great. Sure. Awesome. But my real desire is to connect in a really awesome way with however many people God brings into my little circle. So I want to go deep. I want to have depth. I want to have relationship, because I think we're healed in relationship, and that's what I was created to do. So I don't know how it's going to completely play out in the years to come, but I do want you to know I want to connect with you. I want to have a really interactive community, and that's what we're building. You guys know, if you've been around here at all, we have the Feel Better Journey, which is my group coaching program. You know, that's kind of the intro into our community. And so, you know, if you're looking for more depth and all of that, I'd encourage you, join the wait list, get some more information about the Feel Better Journey, and learn about our community. You guys, I'm telling you, our community is amazing. I love the people in our groups. I love our community. I love the friendships, all the things. So anyways, just really excited. So if you're new around here, or if you're not new around here and we're not friends on social, please go to the show notes if you're on social media and click through so that we can become friends, or you can follow me on social media. Okay. All that to say, you guys, I'm so grateful you're here. So today's episode is honestly going to be a little bit short and sweet. What I wanted to do today is just to come on and tell you that I see you. And what do I mean by that? I've been thinking about how so many of us carry these parts within us that are so painful. And I don't want to call it secret pain. Some of it is secret pain, but it's private pain. It's things that we don't necessarily want to talk about with the general public, let alone sometimes we don't even want to talk about it with our best friends. Sometimes it's just this place in us that aches, and it's private pain, I guess you could call it. And I think that these parts where we really struggle internally, I just want you to know you're not alone. I've been doing a lot of one-on-one coaching with people, and even in my groups, and I'm realizing how much so many of us think that we are alone in our struggles, that we're the only one that struggles with this or that, or we're the only one hiding, you know, pretty big secrets from something that happened in childhood or in adolescence, or decisions that we've made. And I don't know about you, but so many of us struggle with the decisions that we've made post-Christianity. What do I mean by that? I hear a lot of people say like, oh man, before I came to Jesus, this was my life. And then I had this amazing encounter and my whole life changed and it's been so great. And that's amazing. For me, my life got a little darker after I became a Christian. And, call it spiritual warfare, call it whatever. But part of why my life got harder was because I was still dealing with a lot of issues, but I didn't feel safe in Christian circles to discuss it. I didn't feel safe within churches to discuss my addiction issues or my struggles in relationships or my thought life or just behavior that I was a part of. And I felt all this shame because not only was I struggling in ways that, God forbid, man, I should have been delivered from, right? Quote unquote. I'm laughing. That's so not how it works, you guys. But I felt shame to even struggle with these things because I didn't have a safe Christian environment to be able to process these things. And so once I was able to find other people that were human as well, yeah, they love Jesus, but they still have struggles, right? I always say like, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. Ooh, I don't cuss for shit and giggles. Like, by the way, the S word is my favorite word on the planet. So that's pretty much the only bad word. And that's not true. I say some other bad words, but what I'm saying is sometimes there's just so much stuff going on inside of us and it's just hard. And so I just want to acknowledge today, any of you, any of us, all of us who are just struggling in ways that we can't even put words to. And I don't know about you, but I remember times being, even at dinner with a group of friends people that I love and that I loved and were important to me, but they'd be talking about stuff and my heart would just be aching because I didn't even feel present because my heart was just bleeding inside over things that I was struggling with or grief that I had that I didn't even realize was grief. Like I was just grieving losses in life of the way things didn't turn out the way that I thought it would in different areas, or just grieving over pain over, one of my kids was struggling. My heart was bleeding, but I didn't feel like I could tell people. And, I want to acknowledge how hard it is to be struggling and not really have many places or any spaces to be able to share it in a really authentic way. And so I just want you to know that if that's you, man, you're not alone and it's okay. And I want to say a couple things around it to kind of give you some hope. Number one, sometimes things are just so hard in our heart and in our mind to process and to share and bring into the light because we're carrying some shame around it. And I don't know about you, but shame is one of those things that's very evasive and it's elusive. And I didn't even know I was walking in shame until I kind of began to break free from shame. And I shouldn't even say break free from it. I definitely have broken free from a lot of shame in my life, but I think more of just coming to this place of awareness and acknowledging it and seeing it for what it is and realizing that those places carried shame for me. I think just acknowledging that to myself and to God and then eventually to another human being, like it's very, very freeing. And so I just want you to know that if you're struggling and your heart's just aching over something that you just feel like you can't even really put words to, or you can't really share with others, or maybe you have shared with others and maybe you think they're sick of hearing you talk about it, but it's still aching in your heart. I just want to reach through the mic and give you a hug and let you know you're not alone, that most of us have areas that are just really painful and we can't talk about them all the time because we'll lose it, right? And it's not always appropriate to lose it, but we do have to have those safe spaces and places, especially within ourselves, to be able to lose it. And you guys, there's this quote that Brene Brown says about learning to love ourselves the way we would love others. And I'm butchering the quote, but it's something around that. And you guys, we have to somehow learn to take care of and nurture these places inside of us that are aching. And I think sometimes just acknowledging that we're aching and giving ourselves grace that we're hurting is the first step. And so I just wanted to mention that. The other thing that I wanted to say is, if you can, bring it into the light with one human being. And I know it's hard. I totally get it. But even if you can have a conversation with someone about the situation, but not necessarily the specifics of the situation. Like, for instance, a couple of years ago, one of my kids was really, really struggling, really dark place. Okay. And someday I'm going to have them on the podcast to share. They said that they totally want to, but I want to make sure that they're really know what they're signing up for when they do come on the podcast. But here's the thing. they were in a really dark place. And I felt like if I actually shared how dark of a place they were in, I was going to betray them almost. Like it felt too vulnerable to share. So I shared, hey, one of my kids is struggling, can you pray for them? And I didn't get into all the details, right? Because to leave it a little bit more vague felt like I was protecting my kid a little bit. And as well as it felt a little bit less scary for me to share the details that were going on in my head. Now, I did have a couple of safe spaces where I shared all the scary details because I think that sometimes our thoughts can haunt us if we're not bringing them into the light. And obviously, I've been doing this work for a long time, you guys. I'm no guru and I'm no expert, but I have been doing this work for a long time. And one of the things I pride myself in is that I'm a journeyer with you. I'm not at all saying, oh, I have it all figured out. This is what you should do. These 10 steps will heal you and heal every situation. That's just not how it works. But what I do want to say is if you can begin to kind of let some of the air out around your sadness or around your pain or around your grief or just talking about it a little bit, that can sometimes lessen the aloneness that we're feeling around it. And so I just want to encourage you in that. I hope that helps. But more than anything, I just want you to know that if you're carrying private pain or secret pain or pain that no one will really understand, I just want you to know that you're loved and that you're important and that you're not alone in it. I know Jesus is with us in our pain. I mean, there's so many scriptures around it, but also I've had this felt experience of living through really horrendous things. And then hindsight's always 20/20, where I realize, oh my gosh, Jesus really was with me in that darkness. And so I know we all have had those experiences. So I want to encourage you, remember some other painful times that you've walked through in your life and remember how you got through it. Because sometimes how we got through those previous times is really the pathway to how to get through these hard times. Sometimes it's not always the answer, but it could be the answer. But more than anything, just remind yourself you're not alone, that you're loved, that you're valued. There's only one of you on this planet. Trust me, there's no takebacks. God did not make a mistake by making you. And I am a firm believer that he really can use everything, even the hardest, most awful, painful things that we're going through, for us to encounter him and to encounter more of who we are and who he's made us to be and all the things. So, and that's not some cheesy Christianese, God doesn't give you more than you can handle. I think that's BS. So anyways, I think that a lot of us are overwhelmed and can't handle our lives. And I think that that's okay. I think that doesn't mean we're weak. It doesn't mean we're failing. I think that it just means that he will give us people and community and the Holy Spirit and Jesus to walk through these seasons with us. So I love you. I want you to know you're not alone. And I will talk to you in a few days. All right. God bless you guys.
Hello, my friend. If this episode blessed you, made you laugh, or triggered you, hey, that's growth. Please do me a favor and share this with a friend. And if you feel led, please leave a written review for the show. That really helps us out. Don't forget you are in good company if you're feeling more broken than you'd like to admit. And you are more loved than you can ever imagine. Have a great week. See you next time.